Gina, so good to be together with all of you here today. I just want to read a passage from the Spirit by the Spirit Manual. Chico Xavier. Today is number 17. Next is listen to him in to think this vision strengthened. He developed the this group to shape the work of the and think stage of the good news he has invited to vote and ask for souls to come together in to become instruments of his divine will, showing us no redemption must come from the most high, materialize with active collaboration of hearts of good. Even when he comes in person to ask someone to work in his field of light, this was the case in his conversation. The master still needs the collaboration of incarnate beings. After visiting the doctor from Tarsus, Jesus immediately went to Ananias to assist the new sinner. Where was Jesus not concerned following the new convert and assisting him in person? It was because if men and women cannot become spiritually illuminated, the token do with men. Statements by the Lord show the importance he places on the human contribution. Let us love and is to be considered.
So now prepare ourselves to feel the presence of the loving spirit guides, spirit doctors, nurses, and therapists who love us so dearly. Thank you, dear God, for sending your messengers to come and deliver to us the medicine that we need for the mind and the bodies. We feel your embrace, your love, your unconditional approval of us, because you don't see us imperfect, but divine as you've created us, learning to harmonize ourselves with you, to consciously make choices that are in agreement with your will of life. Right now, we visualize all of us and everyone connected to each of us receiving flowers of peace and as we inhale the perfume of tranquility, exhaling, letting go of our pains, of our sorrows, of our anxieties, and accepting that all is well according to your will. And everything that happens to us comes for our learning experience. During this therapeutic educational session, we stay under your guidance, protection, as you grant us the permission to be here. And so be it. All right. All right. So, what are we doing here? Why do we come to a Spiritist Center? We wonder why, because sometimes we just wake up, oh, Sunday, we have to go, Oh my gosh, do I go? Can we stay? I don't know. And it's just like a car, push and go, right? No, but we have to think, why are we here? We need to be mindful. If our minds are elsewhere, outside this room, it's not going to work. So let's make the most of it by thinking. Huh? Who is a spirit in this room? Raise your hand. As far as I know, everybody is. Okay. Who is a spirit? Again, conviction. Everybody's a spirit. We're connected to this physical body, like the clothes are connected to our body. Okay? We're not the physical body. Sooner or later, we won't be here anymore. I know we're going to be home. We're going to be elsewhere, and one day back into the spiritual home, the true home. And that's fine. But what stays in us? Our feelings. With love, no matter where we are, no matter where we are, if we learn to seek the good in everyone. Today we're going to learn in this room how to find love, right? Carol. Inside, we're going to discover love in another way. Through the stories of Jesus, through the stories of astronaut James. He's going to have a special journey through Galilee. It's going to be beautiful. And for the other ones, we're going to rewind the tape 2,000 years ago and discover what happened there that still affects us today. You ready? Ready? Fully here, 100%. Yes. Home is there. Don't worry, you didn't forget anything on. Okay. Did I turn it off? Did I close the door? I sometimes forget my keys outside of my house. So if you pass by, please knock on the door, give the keys to them. Because it's always the mentor saying, you see, everything is well, Vanessa. They could have stolen your car. They could have entered your house. But Lupi would be there. And no, but in the spiritual realm, right? The good spirits are always with us. Ready? Let's go, friends. Well, I'm wearing the and sword. My twist. Good.
Friends, who likes feeling loved? Yay, everybody. Everybody's on the same boat. Good news. Love, God already loves us unconditionally. Woo! So we are covered, right? No matter where we are, no matter who we are forever and ever being loved because God loves us without conditions. How come, though, when we are reincarnated, sometimes we forget? Sometimes we feel lonely. Sometimes we feel as though no one cares. How come? How can that be possible? Being that we only exist because God loved us into existence. Kardec, the great educator who brought codified spiritism for us, he mediumistically spoke to spirits who felt abandoned, who felt unloved. So pause. Does that mean that how we feel now may carry on to immortality? Yes. So when we discarnate, friends, we don't magically take a magic pill and transform ourselves and start playing harps and develop angel wings and sit on a cloud like we see in cartoons sometimes. This is just a fantasy. This is not reality. We are here in this beautiful Spiritist Center because this is the school for the soul where we study the reality of life. So, reality number one, we are all spirits. Vanessa already reminded us of that. Reality number two, God loves us unconditionally. Reality number three, we do not become angels overnight simply because we discarnated. So, what happens to us when we transition to our true home? Thanks to Kardec, we were able to lift the veils of the mysteries of the afterlife. And Kardec brought to us the case of the Samaritan, reported to us in the book Heaven and Hell, under the cases of suicide spirits. Let us begin. So, how did this take place? In Kardec's time, he held mediumistic meetings, much like the ones we hold here at the SSVA as well on a weekly basis. Kardec held mediumistic meetings with a group of teenage mediums. So our teenagers have a lot of potential. It's thanks to them that we have all those books and all this knowledge. So Kardec united with the mediums and he evoked spirits that he thought would need support. So he evoked the spirit of the Samaritan and he came. The spirit of the Samaritan came. And he wanted to know, Kardec wanted to know whether he felt, quote unquote, bad after his discarnation. because he took his life prematurely. So Kardec wanted to know how he felt. Let's read the dialogue between Kardec and the spirit. Kardec asks, "What drove you to commit suicide?" And the spirit surprisingly answers, "Me? No. Am I dead?" The spirit still thought he was as incarnated as everyone here in this room. So see, we don't experience any magical transformation when we discarnate. And we need to pray for the ones who cut their physical lives short, because their lives don't end as the body perishes. Mother Mary, Mother of Jesus, is responsible for embracing all of the spirits who transition in this tragic. And she has hospitals all over the world to rehabilitate the spirits. And they suffer greatly because they have to start from ground zero again. So we need to pray. And Kardec goes on and he asks, "Why didn't you leave behind any clues that could be used to identify you?" Because the spirit experienced physical death without letting anyone know who he was. And his answer, the spirit's answer was, "I was abandoned. No one loved me." Let us ask ourselves, do we ever feel this way? We are abandoned, no one loves us? Because if we do, we connect with spirits, incarnates and discarnates, who feel the same way. So it becomes really difficult to leave this mental addiction, because others are bombarding us with the same message. So it's quite common these days for us to see someone who begins the day speaking negatively, like, "Oh my, we have to get out of bed again. Oh my, we have to do this again. Oh no, the traffic. Oh no, the tolls. Oh no, the co-workers. Oh no, the children, they are going to misbehave," etc., etc. So we already come up with a laundry list of things that are going to go wrong in our minds. And we imprison ourselves so much that it doesn't matter what happens. We say to ourselves at the end of the day, "See, we were right, everything went wrong." And why? Because of our perception and because of the connections we make spiritually with spirits who are equally addicted to drama and catastrophizing. Catastrophizing is when we think that things will go wrong no matter what. So, how many of us are caught up in these webs of infinite drama because we refuse to accept life and to be grateful for it? When we are in this state of mind and of the spirit, we fall into the dangers of victimization. That is when we believe ourselves to be the victims of life, meaning everything happens to us. And another sign that we are suffering from this pathology of the soul is when we say to ourselves, "Why me? Why me? Why has this happened to me?" Because we think we are in some other category that would prevent us from experiencing any hardship. And we believe the hardships are a punishment from God. Same belief we had 2,000 years ago when Jesus came. So today we are being invited by the mentor spirits and directors of the Spiritual Society of Virginia and Kardec Radio to free ourselves from the dangers of victimization. But like Vanessa said, it's important for us to understand why we should do this. So let us explore this further. In the book Nosso Lar, by the spirit author André Luiz through the mediumship of Chico Xavier, chapter 6, André Luiz is in the hospital recovering from his physical illnesses that left marks in his spiritual body. And in talking to the minister Clarencio tells André Luiz, because André Luiz is in that victimization mode. He's saying, oh, why me? Poor me? Why did I have to suffer so much? Why have I discarnated in this way? Why can't I be with my wife? Why can't I be with my children? Complaining, 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 complaining. André Luiz was suffering the complaining addiction. Some of us are addicted to complaining. We feel that we are not alive unless we complain. André Luiz at that time was in this category. After listening to him very patiently, Clarencio came to him and said, "We have no time for lamentation." Let's pay attention to this, friends. He said no time. He didn't say we have 5 minutes for lamentation a day, 10 minutes, 15 minutes at most, maybe half an hour. No, 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 no. He was very specific. He said we have no time, meaning zero, no time for lamentation. And then he continues to say, lamentation is a sign of mental illness that is time consuming and difficult to treat. Our medical science is starting to recognize that now, but much before our medical science on earth started recognizing this pathology, André Luiz and Minister Clarencio already put it in writing for us to remember it forever. Lamentation is a sign of mental illness. It's an addiction, and we are here to free ourselves from this addiction. And why do we get into this addiction? Because we believe we are superior from other beings and we do not deserve to quote unquote suffer. But Minister Clarencio helped André Luiz and all of us to re-signify this. How? He said, if you see suffering where there is actually edifying struggle, you are showing the undesirable signs of spiritual blindness. So, friends, because we are suffering of the mental illness of lamentation, we become spiritually blind. Because we believe we don't have the family we deserve, we don't have the work setting we deserve, we are in the wrong country, we have the wrong car, everything is wrong. But if we go to the book Laws of Life, Emmanuel, through Chico Xavier, explains to us who is the troublesome child that comes to our family. That is the very spirit we previously spoiled to death. Who is the unlawful husband we now have? It is the very person we pushed to the precipice. Who is the troublesome wife? It's the very person who we hurt in the past. So the family setting we have today is not the wrong family setting. It's the exact relationships that we cultivated in the past. So today we are reaping exactly what we sowed. If we want a better tomorrow, will complaining resolve it? No. What will resolve it is accepting God's edifying plan, embracing it, and changing the way we feel about it. But how can we change the way we feel about it? Minister Florencio tells us, he says, you, to Andre Lewis, he says, you must create new trains of thought in order to free yourself from the prison of lamentation and no longer be spiritually blind. So, how do we create new patterns of thinking? By seeking the good. This is the way out of the mental imprisonment. Okay? How can we do this then? How can we heal? We are all here to heal from spiritual blindness. In order to heal from spiritual blindness, we need to make an inner decision. We need to change the way we feel about the situations in our lives. Why? Because we have reincarnated to make profound transformation. Are the transformations regarding the way we dress, the color of our hair, the earring we wear? No. These are much deeper transformations regarding how we feel in terms of each of our relationships that we are cultivating in the present. To heal from this spiritual blindness and mental illness that has imprisoned all of us, we need to go from selfishness to selflessness. How do we walk this path in the direction that is contrary to what we have done in the past? We have to swim against our own current, create new habits for ourselves. How do we create new habits for ourselves? We seek to love others rather than to receive love from others. This is the secret. This is what you and I have reincarnated to learn, all of us in this room, including the discarnate spirits who are preparing themselves to reincarnate as well. Our number one mission is to get away from our addiction to receive love, to becoming able to give love. So, what does that look like in our day-to-day life? We are going to examine 3 scenarios together. The first one is in the family, because all of us reincarnate in the family. And Emmanuel tells us that the family is our first and most important school for the evolution of the spirit. So what does this inner transformation, this landscape of our feelings, how can we transform it in the family? The secret lies in putting love into action. Okay? How can we do this? 3 steps. 3 steps. Number 1, we can shift from they don't love us to how can we love them. Because often we go home and we say, oh, if only our partner knew how we felt, they would behave differently. Dinner would already be on the table. If only our children knew the sacrifices that we did, they would make the bed every day and they would do their homework. If only my parents knew the trauma that they've put me through. And we feel like a fish out of the water, and we are always ready to point fingers to others. We have the recipe, perfectly set for the transformation of the neighbor, of our mother, of our father, of our partner, of our friends, even our pets. We have a recipe for everyone to change. And we like to sit on our favorite chair and wait. If only we often say, if only so and so changed, our lives would be. That's how we think. But there's an error in how we are decoding life because we have not, any of us, reincarnated to change others. This is where we suffer. This is why we fall short. Because we are operating under the fallacy, the lie that we have reincarnated to change others. No, no, we have reincarnated to change ourselves. But then we can argue, oh, but Carol, you don't know how tired we are when we get home from work. Let us think of Jesus, our guide and model. Can we picture him saying, oh, excuse me, I'm tired now. No time for you. Can we picture Jesus saying that? Absolutely not, right? So if he is our guide and model, we will put love into what we do and we will consider it an honor to be able to be in the family that we are because we can plant love where before we were perhaps unable. Our job is to plant love. So when we are cooking dinner, for example, if we are thinking of all the problems we have, all the bills we have to pay, the vibrations we are sending are very, very rough. But if we do everything we need to do, feeling love, then the whole family will feel love. So we are going to go home today and we are going to ask, how can I love my partner, my children, my co-workers more? How can I love more? We are going to shift from trying to change them to changing us. So no longer we are going to feel like a fish out of the water because we are going to understand that we are placed in that family circle to learn to love more. That's always the equation that Jesus came to teach us. Learn to love more. So instead of asking our family members, do this for me now, we are instead going to say, what can I do for you? How can I love you more? And God, what would you like us to learn? God, if you placed us in this circle, what is the lesson for us, God? If we start seeing our family circle through the lenses of love, then we are able to heal the relationships we came to heal. And we don't depend on anybody else to do this healing work because it's all a change inside of our hearts. And Mentor Joseph, one of the spirit directors of the Spiritus Society of Virginia, gave us all this exercise for us to visualize a timeline of all of our lives and a relationship that we need to heal today, here. We visualize that along the pathway of eternity at a later time when we are very close, loving friends. Every day we visualize love, healing this relationship. In this way, we bring that healing closer to us, and the healing manifests fast. And we visualize all the good qualities of that person, trusting that sooner rather than later we are going to be best friends because that's what Jesus has told us. And how does this transformation look like at work? We have our second family at work because we spend so much time with these people, colleagues of ours. So how do we transform ourselves in this circumstance? We shift from competing to cooperating. So instead of seeing our colleagues as a threat, especially now with so many changes happening in our beloved United States of America, instead of seeing the current situation as a threat, we are invited to cooperate more. So instead of running away from our colleagues, we offer them a hand to help them. How does that look like? Instead of wanting to have the last word in meetings or wherever we are, we become active, caring listeners. We make the decision to listen. We silence ourselves in order to give others an opportunity to speak. We also shift from wanting to be helped to being the one who helps. We are always waiting for someone to magically come and save us, right? But as Felipe read in the beginning of the study today, Jesus, our master, governor of the earth, is counting on us to be the helping hand. So we are being invited today to shift from being the ones who expect to be helped to the ones who offer help. And we shift as well from criticism to prayer. How often are we in meetings or phone calls and we, in our heads, are mentally battling the other person? We are saying, oh, they don't know what they're doing. Oh, if only they knew. Oh, they could do this so much better. Mamma mia, why don't they? And we battle and we battle and we battle and we battle. Today, we are being invited to carry the peace flag. Sign an inner agreement with ourselves and make an inner decision to give up on criticizing altogether, cold turkey. Because some of us are addicted to criticizing. We cannot say one word without criticizing first. So today we are being invited to let go of this emotional addiction that is so heavy on us. Because when we criticize others, we carry the weight of criticism on us. It stays with us, vibratorily speaking. So if we want to feel lighter, let us offer our light through prayer to one another. In a meeting, we can talk to everybody else's guardian angels in prayer. We can pray for our boss. We can pray for our colleagues. No one needs to know. It's an inner decision. And lastly, how does our inner transformation look like right here in the Spirit Center, this blessed temple that we are honored to be a part of? Here, we shift from doing tasks in a automatic pilot mode to doing things with intention. So if I'm going to give the water, for example, let's say we are going to give the water, we put intention in that water. We say, may everyone who receives this water receive an embrace of love from their guardian angel. Receive the soul vitamins that they need. Instead of thinking, oh my gosh, what are we going to eat for lunch? Why is this taking so long? Can we go on fast track so we get out of here? It's all an internal decision. We can decide to do things on automatic pilot or do things with intention. How else can we shift? We can realize inside of ourselves that all tasks are sacred. Even those of us who are seated right now listening can cooperate. How? With vibrations of serenity, of kindness, of understanding, to reach out to not only us who are physically here in this room, but also reach for everyone who is watching or who will watch later, so we can all cooperate. No one is passive. Everyone is capable of feeling and giving love. So even watching is a sacred task, because from our chair we can vibrate love and envelop everyone. So everyone here is participating, and everyone is invited to participate, and everyone is here because everyone is equally capable of shining love. And we also shift from thinking that we can do things on our own to understanding that we are here to teamwork, like Camila is teamworking right now. Thank you, Camila, holding beautiful Benjamin to share the task of love. Holding a baby is a beautiful task of love, and we are seeing the cooperation before our eyes, thanks to Benjamin and Angelina and Michelle and Danielle. Thank you, friends. We see cooperation live right before our eyes, right, Benjamin? Oh, see, this is cooperation. Instead of thinking, oh, it's time to go home, we have this and that and the other, we think about the needs of the other person and we literally reach out to help. Thanks to the beautiful babies, we have a live example. And then we go back to the point where we started. The spirit of the Samaritan that Kardec spoke to cut his life short because he couldn't feel loved. He felt abandoned. How can we heal? If we could summarize everything in one sentence, we evoke the beloved spirit of Saint Francis of Assisi. And during his beautiful words, we say that we will feel loved. The void inside of us will heal when we make an inner decision to give more than we want to receive. So we are all invited to heal through love, with love, and for love. Once again, how? By giving rather than receiving. And who taught us this? Master Jesus. He spent 24 hours of his time and still does giving. He gave the Spirit Center to us. He sustains the Spirit Center. He inspires us. He gave us each one all that we have, and he never sends a bill to us. We never get Jesus's bill in the mail. Why? Because he understood that it is an honor to give, much more than to receive. And he's inviting all of us to join him in this task force of loving one another as he has loved us.
I'm six. So help one another by visualizing the presence of the spirit doctors, nurses, and therapists here. They love us dearly, they know what we need, and they are delivering to us the energy medicine that we need for our minds and bodies. So now visualize a shower of healing light falling upon us. May this light of God's love shower us, displacing the toxins of the mind and the bodies as we absorb molecules of health, of strength, of healing. Let us breathe in and out, receiving the blessings that come from God. Let us help one another, friends, by giving of ourselves, visualizing flowers of healing being distributed to everyone. Let us inhale the perfume of healing that comes from the flowers, exhaling toxins of the mind and the bodies.
Health. Let's go to the. Let's go. Oh, yes. Sto suonando vicino, sì.
Let's look at Jesus, our best friend. Look at his beautiful eyes of love, telling us that God loves us so dearly. Let us feel that from Jesus' heart, light and love is coming to us, showering us in deep healing. Let us feel his loving care.
Ah, se você depende. Se fizer a prece de olho fechado. E criança. Verdade.
Persona. In this final round, feel the presence of Master Jesus and visualize our homes Let us open the door of our homes to Jesus and his loving team of doctors. Let us visualize them entering our homes and helping us harmonize the environment, rescuing entities that no longer need to be there, and strengthening the security system of our homes, visiting our neighbors. Let us feel the presence of Jesus' healing. Let us express our gratitude to God for this hour of blessings and healing, deep therapy for our souls. Thank you, God, for everything, for recharging us as we prepare ourselves to continue this reincarnation, learning the new every day, learning to love, learning to humble ourselves before your designs. May we pacify our minds and our hearts. May we safely reach our destinations today, bringing this loving care that you have given us, distributing with everyone in our lives, being patient and tolerant, understanding and kind, firm and determined in the good. May you bless all of us on earth, and may we ask you to bless especially the United States of America in this moment of big changes. May we stay faithful and always positive, knowing that you only bring to us new opportunities to grow and progress. With your permission, we close these moments that are deeply in our minds for immortality. and so be it. So, just a reminder for the month of April, at the end of the month of April, we'll be back in DC for the service on Saturday, the last Saturday of the month, with in the McPherson Square. Take a look at the form right on the board. If you want, you can sign up and join us, okay, to do this work of the heart. If you have any question, we'll be here. We're not in a rush at all, okay? We're here for you. If you need to talk to us, to ask a question, we'll be here. If you want to see the books, we have books. If you want to put names of people in the book of prayers, we have the book of prayers too. Okay, friends, may you have a blessed week. Thank you.